welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this candy cane wreath using items from the Dollar Tree and Dollar General. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it. Alrighty, let's get started. Yes, I have my Halloween nails still on because I'm making a Christmas video before Halloween. This is still September, so yeah, I'm all confused here, but and you'll have to excuse my voice. I was going to start to make this video for y'all last night and my voice went out completely, but it's back today. And I'm going to try to muddle through this video. But I have one of the candy cane wreath forms from Dollar Tree. I have 3 rolls of this red and gold mesh, 3 rolls of this white mesh, and all of that did come from Dollar Tree. I could not find any red poinsettias that I liked at my Dollar Tree, so I got these ornaments from Dollar General. These small ones are 2 for $1, and then I got 1 large one, and it was $1. You're going to need some pipe cleaners and some ribbon. I have this spool of red glittery ribbon from Dollar General. It's got 9 feet on it. And a roll of this gold wire edge ribbon. I believe there's 9 feet on this spool as well. It's not marked, but from what I can remember, there's 9 feet on that spool. You'll need a hot glue gun and glue sticks, a pair of scissors, and some pipe cleaners. Now for this, I'm going to be doing my blossom method, and I will show you how to do that right now. I'm going to take the tag off of it, and let me set the form over to the side. So for this, I think with the blossoms for the poinsettias, I'm going to make those white so that the red can really show up against that white. And to do that, first off, let's get us a pipe cleaner. And I'm going to be using a whole pipe cleaner. Bend that in half and set it off to the side. I have got 2 pieces of white mesh here. Each piece is cut to 30 inches long. And now I'm going to cut 2 pieces of my gold ribbon and 2 pieces of the red, and I measure that against my roll of mesh, 1.5 lengths of the mesh. So this mesh is 6 inches long. So you're basically cutting yourself a 9-inch piece of ribbon. So I'm going to do that with both of the gold, and now I'm going to cut 2 of the red. Like that. I'm going to dovetail the ends by just cutting a little, can y'all see that? Cutting a V into the end. If you want to fold your ribbon in half to do that, then go ahead. I don't like doing that. So I do mine this way. I apologize for the sniffling as well. So let's cut this. Oh lordy. Alright, there we go. I've had a lot of requests for this video, and I get so many requests now. You know, I get tons of messages on Instagram, on Facebook, excuse me. I get lots of messages, and I love all of the suggestions, you know, and y'all asking me to please do videos, and I have all of your ideas written down. Just give me some time to get to them, and I promise I'll make videos for all of the requests that I'm getting. I promise I will. Okay, so to make our blossom, what we're going to do is you're going to take your 30-inch piece of mesh and lay the cut end towards you and put your thumbs right here in the middle, and then use your fingers and just gather it up. Get the ribbon out of the way. Just gather it up like this, and then you have something with little stragglies on it, something that looks like this. Okay, now you're going to take your ribbon and layer it. You're going to take the wide piece and then put one of the thinner pieces on top of it like that. Now the pretty side, the side that you want to be facing out on your wreath, you want that facing your fingertips. And then just pinch it together just like that. Now take your pipe cleaner where this is bent and just kind of sandwich everything between that. Try to get it centered. Now just bend everything down and give it a good twist or 2 on the back. Now I've noticed with the Dollar Tree mesh, I don't know why, I noticed that the white mesh sometimes is a lot stiffer and harder to work with than the other colors. So you might have to give this a really, really good hard twist to make sure, you know, everything is cinched in together. Now we're going to lay that off to the side, and we're going to make another one just like that. So take your mesh once again with your thumbs in the center and just gather it all up just like that. Scrunch it up like this, and then There's another little poofy just like that. Now we're going to layer our ribbon the same way that we did on that other one. Just like this. Like that. Now, take your other one that already has the pipe cleaner on it, lay it face down. Take this one with the ribbon side down and just lay it right on top, crossways. You got one going that way, one going this way. Bring your pipe cleaners up and give them a good twist. Just like that. And there is our little blossom. And this roll of white that I have here is shedding and splintering like no tomorrow, but it's okay. We're going to cover all this up. Now, let's just work with our ribbon just for a second and try to get everything kind of centered, because right now it's all cattywampus. We want to try to get it all centered and facing in the semi-right direction, because sometimes it can get twisted when you're twisting your pipe cleaners around. And I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take one of these smaller poinsettias here. Let's just cut this little hanger off of it. And if you can see, there's like this little nub here, I guess, where this is actually looks to me like flowers that they took apart. And then right in the center, I'll put a blob of glue. And because these are plastic, I'm using my low temp glue gun today. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use the low temp or the high temp, and because I was feeling this, and this plastic feels pretty thin to me, and I was afraid that my high temp gun would melt them, so I'm just going to use the low temp one for this one. Okay, I'm going to glue that down in the center. I'm going to trim this away while that glue's setting up. Ta-da! There we go. You're not really going to be able to see all these little frayed edges and everything once you get the blossoms onto your wreath form, because they're all going to be all squished up together. Let me come over here and get this. I think that glue has set up. I think. Now watch me tear it apart. Just trim all this. Okay, so now I'm going to attach this to the wreath form just like I do all the other ones. I'm going to be using the two center ones right here. And I'm just going to put one pipe cleaner on one side and the other end of the pipe cleaner on the other side. Flip it over. Well, I said it was. And give it a good twist. Like that. And I'll go back later on and I will trim the back off of these pipe cleaners to make it look a lot nicer and neater. Okay, and there is one blossom on our wreath form. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the red mesh and I'm going to make a blossom like this, only without the ribbon and without the poinsettia. And I'm just going to alternate that red, white, red, white. All of my white ones are going to have the poinsettia in the ribbon. All of the red ones are not. They're going to be lonely. So I'm just going to alternate here. Now on this, what I want to do is, this is in my head what I want to do. I'll make that decision finally when I get the whole thing full. But I want to make a big bow to go right about here. And then I want to put the big poinsettia in the middle of that bow. So once I get right up to here, I'm not going to have any bundles with the ribbon or the poinsettia, because then it's just going to be covered up with the bow and this one. So I'm going to work on it. And of course, I'll show it to y'all when I come back before I put the bow on. So don't worry about that. I'm going to show it to you. So let me work on this and then I'll come back and we'll take a look and we'll see what I have. So hang on a minute. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I have 8 clusters of white, 7 of which have the poinsettias and the ribbon on them. And there's no certain amount that went into each section. I just spaced them out, you know, however I thought that they looked good. So you might want to make yours looser or tighter than mine, you know, whatever you want to do. Oh, so let me show you something else. As y'all can see right here between these two, just kind of sort of midway down through the main part of the candy cane, I left that white blossom without the flower and ribbon so that I could put my bow on. And so far on there, I used 1 roll of the red ribbon, 1 roll of the wired ribbon, and 3 rolls of each color of mesh. So 3 of white and 3 of the red. Now to make a bow, I have an entire video dedicated just to showing how I made the bows, but I'm going to make it here on this video right quick. And for that, I'm going to use another roll of this gold ribbon, and I'm going to use a roll of this red ribbon. This came from Dollar Tree. This was left over from Valentine's Day. And it's kind of a sheer ribbon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wider ribbon and lay it on the bottom like this, with the pretty side facing up. One side has glitter, one side doesn't. So the glittery side I'm going to have facing up. And I'm also going to take my gold wired ribbon, and this might fall in the floor. So if you hear a noise, that's what it is. Let me trim the edge of this ribbon right quick. I'm just going to layer my two pieces of ribbon like this. Now I'm going to take my wreath and I'm going to try to decide about how wide I want my bow. And I think that right there looks pretty good, because once I fluff it up, it's gonna lose a little bit of width. So I'm going to say that that's okay. That's how wide I want it. And I'm going to bend my ribbon right there, okay, at that width. Now all that you're going to do is just take the ribbon, and this is kind of hard to do on camera with the two layers. All you're going to do is take your ribbon and you're just going to fold it over on itself. Just like that. And then just keep folding it. And if you want a more thorough video, I will link to that in the comments. I will pin a comment with the link to my bow making video. Try to keep everything a little bit even here. And I'm just going to fold this until I run out of ribbon. So basically all that I'm doing here, I'm just making one big loop. Just folding over and over and over on itself. You know, about out of this gold here. So I'm going to cut it here just in a second, because that should be plenty full enough for a nice bow. And I'm just going to trim that. And see, now we just have a big stack of our folds like this. Now I'm going to find the center of this, the center, by folding it just like that, and then cutting a little notch, and then on the other side cutting a little notch, just so that I know where the center is. Now I'm going to take my scissors, and at that notch, get my scissors in there, just cut slightly upwards and almost all the way through to the center. You don't want to cut all the way across, so be very careful. That's why I said you could do this sort of at an angle, and it will kind of help you from cutting all the way through. Just kind of cut at an angle just like that. Now I've cut a piece of floral wire. You can get this at Walmart, Dollar Tree, anywhere. You could use a pipe cleaner, but I like the floral wire because it kind of makes the center of the bow really tight. Especially for this, the pipe cleaners can be a little bulky. I just cut a big long piece of floral wire, and I'm going to fold it in half just to make it a little bit more sturdy. And I'm going to wrap that wire right around the center of my ribbon where I made those cuts. Now I'm just going to give it a few good twists on the back, just like that. Whoops, I left a piece of wire. Okay. Now just hold on to your wire here. And this is getting ready to be a bow. So just take your ribbon now and just start separating the loops. Just like this. And you see how it kind of twists in the center where you cut it? You can just take them and twist them around each other like that. And then the tail of your ribbon is going to be the little piece, of course, that was loose to begin with. So once you find those little pieces, just kind of bend them down towards the bottom. And that's how I make my bows. I mean, I know that there's a lot of methods out there on how to make bows. This is just the easiest way that I've found to make one. Oh, and there's my other tail hiding in the back there. So let's bend that down. Then you want to take a few minutes and just, you know, work with the loops until you can get it the way that you want it to look. Oop, there's another one hiding in there. Ha ha! so you can get it the way that you want it to look. And I'm not going to be too concerned about this until I actually get it onto my wreath and then attach my poinsettia, because I want a poinsettia right in the center of this bow. So there's the tails down at the bottom. So now I'm just going to take my wreath and I'm going to take the two ends. Let me flip it over so y'all can see. I'm going to take the two ends of my wire and just run it straight down through the mesh and wrap it around like the two center wires where we've been wrapping our mesh on the wreath form. Let me see if I can feel it here. Aha! I found it. Okay, we'll put it, I want to make sure I don't cover up too much of my poinsettias, so I think I'm going to go in right here. This is the tricky part, trying to get the wire down in there amongst all this mesh. I think I want this end to go right here. Okay, but like I said, I will link down below to show y'all a little bit more slowly, a little bit more in depth about how to make a simple bow out of wired ribbon. So let me get this tightened up. Okay, there's my bow. Now I'll go back and really fluff up the center to make it look better. I'll pull my tails down so that they're going directly down towards the bottom of my, I don't want to call this a wreath. I don't consider this to be a wreath. I'm kind of like a door hanger. Just fluff them out, kind of get them to where they're kind of sort of even. Like this. Okay, and now I'm going to attach this poinsettia just like I did with the smaller ones. I'm going to cut this little piece off here, and then I'm going to cut this nub off here. And then I'm going to put a very generous blob of hot glue right in the center of this ribbon here, or this bow rather. Just keep pumping it on there. I'm sorry for my hand being in the way. All I was doing was putting a big old blob of glue there. And then I'm going to press the poinsettia down into the center. And I'll just hold it in place until I'm fairly comfortable that the glue has set up, and then I'll let go of it. And then that's it. That's all that there is to this one. All right, there we are. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you would, please give me a thumbs up, even if you didn't like it. Give me a thumbs up anyway, because that's the kind thing to do. Give me a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. Check me out on other forms of social media, the links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye.